Hi guys, it's Monday. Chibi's here.
Yeah, pardon me as I have my mouth full.
That was a few chapters ago, but anyway, we are going to finish this run of Alter Ego, and where we last left, we are now on chapter 6, where Chibi is now middle-aged.
And I say, since it's the finale, I'm just gonna go ahead and agree to whatever the hell happens.
Good enough.
Why not? Why not?
You
There's nothing
reached
stopping me now.
you've reached the point of not giving a fuck, huh?
Yeah, isn't there something called a midlife crisis, and ergo I'm midlife, so therefore that makes sense?
Yes.
Woohoo!
Okay, so stat check. 45 years of age, still in the creative business. Uh, Everything's pretty damn nice except for physical shape, which isn't even the worst it could be.
Nope.
There is still, however, the matter of that diabetes.
Hey, thoughtfulness is up there, so we're good.
Yeah, thoughtfulness is the stat you really got to watch out for. And it being 97%, the diabetes is pretty much a non-factor right now. Calmness is still pretty damn high. Trustworthiness is pretty okay. Gentleness, right in the middle. Look at all that money.
Yeah, from that book I wrote.
Mm. Okay.
Sure.
Start on the tree then?
Yeah, let's start on the tree.
Okay. A longtime friend and confidant tells you that she is worried that her husband is fooling around with another woman. You have known the two of them for quite some time, and you don't think her husband would do something like that, but you're not positive about it either.
Um, I'm sympathetic. Tell her it's probably nothing.
Now,
What? Sympathetic? Tell her it's probably nothing, I guess.
not long after she tells you this, you happen to see her husband walking arm in arm with a beautiful young woman.
Confront him about it.
He doesn't know what you're talking about. On the day you claim to have seen him, he was out of town on business, and his wife was with him. Butt out, he says.
Okay. So much for thoughtfulness.
Oops.
Next.
Okay. You need to talk to someone about a finance-related matter. The person with whom you are dealing has a reputation for being stern, pragmatic, and a very money-conscious business type. A meeting between you and this person is suggested. The outcome of such a meeting can affect your vocational sphere tremendously out of pure influence.
Confident? Suggest a lunch meeting.
At lunch, the waiter asks if you'd like to order a drink.
Wait for her to order first.
She orders a double... Whoa, okay.
Woohoo!
Double vodka martini. What are you going to do?
Order an alcoholic drink.
Okay. Well, your history shows that you are not a regular alcohol abuser. Because of this, you're able to regulate your drinking such that it doesn't affect your judgment. Because your thoughtfulness, social judgment, is generally moderate to strong, more leaning on the fucking strong side, the meeting goes well. The outcome is an increase in resources to the tune of $10,000.
See? I know this.
Nice.
Social. What?
Gentleness has gone up nice.
Uh-huh.
There's your cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey. Okay, moving on up. This is where you're going?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You've seen your friend Marcia and her husband. Oh, for fuck's sakes. John and Marcia. Come on. Couldn't you have been just a little more creative?
Marcia.
You've seen your friend Marcia and her husband John socially for a long time. They have a very peculiar relationship. John insists on controlling every aspect of Marcia's life. One day when you're talking to Marcia, she confesses about 3 years ago she began seeing another man. kind, gentle, loving. She's been thinking about leaving John for this other man, but isn't sure she can.
Comfortable, give her some advice.
Like what?
Seek counseling.
Seek counseling?
Mm-hmm.
Marcia tells you that she and John have already been to several marriage counselors. 2 counselors got so fed up with John that for their own sanity, they refused to see the couple anymore. 2 others have said that the problem was Marcia's own lack of assertiveness and her desire to be controlled, which Marcia knew anyway but couldn't help. You, want to try that again?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, have at it, Sigmund.
Divorce John and...
Yes.
Shit.
And what?
I guess marry the other man.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Very simple advice. Just like that, pick up a whole relationship, a whole life, and transfer to another. Think about what phase of life you're in now.
Oops.
Chances are John and Marcia have been together for 20 years or more. For a woman who is used to getting structure and direction from a person like John, this kind of move is terrifying. Now look, your intentions are good. You want to see Marcia happier than she is now. Regardless of how a relationship looks to outsiders, when 2 people stay together, they satisfy some kind of need for each other. Believe it or not, she may actually desire a man who is as domineering as John.
Can we pause for a second?
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with that as a person.
Oh, I don't either.
Okay.
Your advice to her? Your advice to her is logical, but people often do not act that way. As a result, Marcia's ambivalence turns to anger, which she directs at you for butting into her life. I mean, look, this isn't me personally, but everybody's got their kinks. Who can say, really?
I think there's a difference between the 2, though, but that's my personal opinion. Bottom heart.
While you're thinking about your life and a future, you come to a startling realization. The average life expectancy for women is only about 20 years past your current age. How do you feel about this?
Sorry, chewing. Hold on.
Well, if the math is to be taken, we're past midlife crisis already.
Yeah, so what? Anxious? Do something about the thought.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Resolve to get all you can out of life.
How?
Oh, jeez. Have as much fun as possible. Why not?
I can understand why you choose this, and I don't really blame you. There are many ways to have fun, some more time of life appropriate than others. You've seen those women who try to wear teenage fashions to try to look youthful and have fun. They're often very disappointed with the results of their efforts.
Might as well go for the health thing and hope I don't die again.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Lately, you have been feeling sharp twinges of pain localized in the stomach. The pain arrives about an hour or 2 after eating, but disappears completely when you put something into your stomach.
I'm sorry. I get pain in my stomach if I don't eat, but once I eat, I'm fine.
Here, let's take a look again.
The pain arrives about an hour or 2 after eating, but disappears completely when you put something in your stomach.
Now, knowing the medical degree I cut out in order to play Life and Death, I think I may know what this is.
Concern and go to the doctor only because I have the diabetes thing, so
What do you suspect before we move on?
I have no idea. I thought I was going to be hungry, but...
Your concern is justified. The doctor tells you that you have developed an ulcer. Yep, exactly. Right now, the ulcer can be treated with some antacids and other medications, rest and relaxation, and avoiding stressful situations whenever possible. You gonna take that advice?
Stop! Yes. Stop putting me in the middle of romantic situations then, damn it.
Good. Eventually you recover.
Vocation.
Vocation, vocation, vocation. As you advance vocationally, you must leave your old responsibilities to various different people. On your next move forward, you are notified that a very young woman full of new ideas, techniques, and strategies is about to fill your old position. She will not be placed without your approval. Now, you interview her for the position, and she comments that while she feels you did a good job where you were, she plans on doing a better one. She sees that your skills in the area that you are about to leave as limited and old-fashioned. Not because of any fault of your own, but because times are changing, you know?
Okay. Now here's the fun part.
Yeah.
Do I go with the ulcer thing and stay calm and just recommend hiring her, or do I get angry and recommend someone else?
That depends. How do
Technically,
you...
it is the creative field, so I actually understand this, so I'm gonna go with calm and just recommend hiring her.
Yeah. In 3 months' time, everyone who comes in contact with her is complaining that she is intolerable to work with.
Oh.
What you gonna do?
Call her in for a talk.
You mentioned that she may be coming on too strong and that maybe she should take it easy. She tells you that she absolutely disagrees. The people who can't work with her simply aren't willing to work.
Recommend she be let go.
That's what I would do. Yeah, you can see that this person doesn't take direction too well. This may be the only thing that'll calm her down.
Okay. Yep.
A friend of yours who believes in astrology, tarot cards, and other similar kinds of self-direction tries to convince you to have your cards read by Madame Natasha, a psychic medium.
Skeptical, do not see.
Jesus, what a party pooper. You don't have to buy anything, you know. You could have just gone in to see what Madame Natasha was like and left.
Wow, okay.
I love the slapdowns that this game offers.
Shit.
At a social gathering of old friends, attention focuses on Marcia Brandon, a never-married woman who has arrived wearing outlandish clothes, a hairstyle at least 20 years behind, and makeup that seems to have been applied with a spatula. Friends begin elbowing one another, and you hear someone mutter a sentence which ends in beauty school dropout and a giggle. Someone else offers the tag bag lady in training to describe her. The oddness of her appearance is both comical and unsettling. Later, Marcia comes over to you and asks how you've been.
Okay, I'm confused. If she's asking me how I've been,
Yeah.
why is this?
Because in keeping with the story, people have been taking behind-the-back slings at her all night, and you've been within earshot of them.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to do it to her face, or are you going to take the high road, is the question here.
Supportive, say something positive.
The high road it is.
Mm-hmm.
In a quiet voice, she asks if she can speak to you privately about something.
Seriously? Walk away for a moment.
She thanks you for the kind words and mentions that she realizes everyone around her thinks she's strange. You've never really heard her talk at length, but you find that she really doesn't care what people think and never did. She just has a very enjoyable life on the whole. It seems that she needs $5,000 of seed money to get a new cosmetics company off the ground. Electric eyeshadow and foundation putty are two of the products under development now. She asks if you would like to get in on the ground floor. If the venture is a success, you'll earn half the profits. You've certainly got the cash. What are you going to do?
What the hell? Invest, I guess.
The project is a success, and you earn $50,000.
I'm doing good.
Let's see this.
Alright, my physical went up.
Physical went up a little. Social took a tank, probably as a result.
Yeah, whatever.
Gentleness.
Wow. Wow.
$110,045. And a microwave.
And a microwave. Yeah. Hey, best purchase ever.
Oh, that damn microwave. Okay.
Relationship.
What was it?
The heart, yeah.
Okay. Emotional.
Emotional, yeah, sorry. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw, but Wit actually refused a sexual story during her childhood chapter.
Oh, did she?
She did.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, in the last episode that we did.
Oh, probably after I went to sleep.
Probably. A college-aged guy named Bobby Reinhardt works at the dry cleaning store that you use. One evening, you arrive at the store just as it is closing. You absolutely need the clothes tonight. Bobby's already out the door. Now, because you know him by name and because you also know that he is friendly, you feel sure that he'll reopen the store and get you your clothes. Given the disclaimer, I have my thoughts as to what could happen here.
Friendly, ask him to reopen the store?
Your social skills make that an easy request for you in a way that he's difficult to refuse. So he reopens the store. You watch him disappear to the back. You notice how firm his body is, and for a moment, you drift back to the days when you were that young.
Oh boy. Was it that long ago?
You wonder.
Yes.
You conclude.
It was that long ago.
Bobby snaps you back to reality by handing you a big pile of clothes and asks if you would like a hand walking out to the car. You thank him. Now, just before you pull out of the parking lot, you notice that Bobby is having car trouble. Rather than having genuine concern about his transportation difficulties, you find yourself entertaining thoughts of a fling with this younger man.
Seriously? Offer to help jumpstart the car.
Offer to help jumpstart what?
The car.
Offer to help jumpstart who?
Screw you.
Nothing helps. The battery's fucked.
Offer him a lift back home.
Well, in the car on the way home, you notice him looking at you in a peculiar sort of way. He tells you that it's funny to be sitting next to someone he's only seen from behind a counter. What do you make of that before I continue?
I have no idea.
You find yourself talking very freely to him, and for a moment your connection to him is like taking a fast train ride back to adolescence. Because you are relating to him more on his own level, he perceives you as a different kind of adult. You're honestly curious and even envious about his life rather than critical, like most other adults. As you begin to feel younger, he begins to age. Now soon you realize you could enjoy talking to Bobby for a long time. He's young, charming, just a little naive. He motions proudly to a cluster of apartments, explaining that he lives alone. He moved out of his parents' place because he needed to be independent. And he invites you up for a cup of coffee.
Okay, now here's the funny part.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you want, except for the fact that the whole reason why I had to go to the laundromat is because I needed these clothes immediately tonight.
Well, that and this isn't about what I want, so...
Say that you have to get back to your own home.
On the way home, you begin to think back to the time when you were just a teenager yourself. Maybe Bobby was the type of guy who would have asked you out. He was very attractive. You sigh as you are transported briefly to another time of your life.
That wasn't bad. Social.
You've just walked into a store and there's apparently nobody around to take your order. It seems that the person who should be waiting on you has stepped out of sight for a few moments. Waiting in the store with you is a teenager, a young man about 16 years old, wearing an old tee and a pair of blue jeans. He must have arrived a few seconds before you. He's lightly tapping his foot to the sound of imaginary rock and roll, band playing in his head. The proprietor steps out from the room at the back of the store, makes eye contact with you, and asks, "May I help you?"
What?
Okay, let me say a technical piece here about this story.
Please.
The boy did arrive first.
Yes, I understand that.
I'm wondering if the context of saying something to the manager
Is
tough to
he was here for
It's
See?
tough to say. And the fact that the mood choices are neutral and concerned, I don't know. Maybe an opportunity will present itself that he'll get to take his first come, first served place, but I really don't know.
I'm just gonna have to go with neutral and place your order.
Did you realize that the boy was in the store ahead of you?
Yes.
And your reason for not mentioning it was...
What the fuck? I don't like this one because, again, why the frick would you be concerned? Like, really?
Well, are you damned A, damned B, damned C, or damned D?
Damned B, I guess.
Damned B. He's just a kid, right? He can wait. You know, your behavior reveals a kind of prejudice toward the young, and it's exactly this kind of prejudice that contributes to the generation gap phenomenon. Do.
I want to see what the stats went to because I'm kind of pissed about that.
Sure.
Okay.
No apparent detriment.
Gentleness went up. Okay, here we go again.
While looking in the mirror, you notice that the skin around your eyes is marked with deep cracks which radiate towards your temples like dry tree roots in search of water. Deep lines in your forehead, and for the first time, you realize that they make you look as if your face is frozen in a constant scowl. You know now, 30 years later, they have an abbreviation for that.
Botox.
Well, that too, but I was going more for RBF. You know, resting bitch face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unconcerned asked for advice.
Yeah.
You have made it inappropriate. Unconcerned, do nothing. Whatever.
You don't seem upset by the fact that you're getting a few wrinkles. You must be the self-confident type, which is extremely important in this phase. People your age have a tendency to use this period for a time of self-evaluation.
Okay.
Being dissatisfied with yourself and your accomplishments can only serve to heighten feelings of depression and fear related to the physical side of aging. Your lack of concern for this superficial and cosmetic aspect of your life is impressive.
Woohoo! Social.
Your car is to be taken in for some minor repair work. It won't cost any appreciable amount of money, but it will be an inconvenience, being that you have to drop the car off at the repair shop early in the morning and rearrange your usual travel plans. You call in and make an appointment, and the service representative tells you that repairs are made on a first-come, first-served basis.
Come, bring the car in to be fixed. There's nothing to be done.
It's easy to see you're an optimist. Now you're greeted by a mechanic who is clearly holding a book with the word appointments
What?
in big letters across the front. You clearly recall hearing the cars would be taken on a first-come, first-served basis. Maybe they're running a beauty parlor in the back of the garage. Maybe they used to do service by appointment and just keep the book for something else. No, that is a bona fide fucking appointment book. The mechanic apologizes for the misunderstanding. He sees that you're a calm person and is prepared to treat you with courtesy. And he can give you an appointment for 3 weeks from Friday.
Um, okay. I see 3 reasonable options and 1 unreasonable option.
Hmm. Curious to see if you're going to do what I would do.
What was the whole thing about the car? It had to be done, or... Oh.
Won't give us any more than the last page, but I think it said minor work.
Minor work. Except the appointment.
I would have said escalators, escalators, escalators.
I would have... Well, that was my other option. That was another reasonable option. But, I mean, what can... Again, whatever.
Not only are you calm, but with all due respect, quite unassertive. Over the next 3 weeks, your car's health deteriorates rapidly, and the cost of the repair bill when you finally do get your appointment is $500.
Oh, I mean, I can afford it.
Yeah. Still not terrible.
So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Mm-hmm. In the middle of a great rush to get out of the house, you pick up a pair of shoes, only to see the heel dangling precariously from the back. It looks like you could pound the heel back into the shoe and still wear it.
Cautious, look for another pair of shoes.
Yeah, you've probably imagined getting your heel lost in many embarrassing places. That's a misspell, by the way. This is a small situation that requires great wisdom. You search through the mountain of shoes in the bottom of your closet and come up with 2 pair for possible substitutions.
Look good, but never fit right.
Funny how people think uncomfortable shoes sometimes mellow with age. For the first few seconds that you wear them, they feel just fine. Not long after, however, they bite into your toes ferociously. Ow.
Okay, but if the other option was like falling down a set of stairs or something,
Yeah.
or making an embarrassment, being embarrassed by having, awful looking shoes.
I'd say it would have been worse than embarrassment considering the nature of the story.
Yeah.
Or the category, I should say.
Bottom, heart. Yeah.
While you're pulling out of a parking lot, you witness a hit-and-run accident. A boy on a bicycle has been struck by another motorist and is bleeding in the middle of the street. It does not look like there's enough time for you to get help.
Oh, panic, call for help.
Again, not enough time. The boy dies.
Jeez. Oh, that's,
Yeah.
morbid.
Yeah. Well, it took some effort on your intellectual. Nothing else is too badly hurt, though.
No, but everything's kind of on the good side.
Okay.
See, there was never anything mentioned about first aid training. That's the reason why I didn't want to do that. I mean, knowing my luck, he would have died either way. Emotional.
You've just returned from your yearly physical. After your examination, you are told that you've begun menopause. Now, even though it was something you expected would happen soon, when the news is delivered, you feel a terrible sinking in your stomach. During a quiet time, you begin to reflect on your life, your family, and the people around you to whom you've formed attachments. You've lived a great part of your life, and hell, now seems as good a time as any, right? So as you look around, you find that there are those much younger than you who've accomplished more. You have friends who have beautiful homes, vacation in Europe twice a year, and there are other friends who seem to have achieved a great deal more in other ways too. The reality of losing the ability to produce children strikes you in a funny way. A part of you is relieved to not have to worry about taking precautions to avoid pregnancy, but you will look forward to not having to bother with your period every month too. Another part of you feels loss. You may feel a particular sense of intellectually. Intellectually, you know that you're still important and vital to many people, but emotionally, you have been conditioned to society's expectations and roles. All of this having been said, where do you sit?
Well, considering past history, depressed, seek guidance. Again.
There's something specific you want to discuss?
Yep.
Do any of these reasons reflect your depression?
Wow, what choices? I love how there's none of these option. It
Yeah.
has to be one of these.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I guess social life?
One of the simplest keys to improving one's social life is variety. People who complain about their social lives are usually in a rut, seeing the same people, doing the same things year after year after year. Traveling outside your usual social circles will bring you into contact with different kinds of people, some of whom you will like, others you won't. Now, doing this involves a certain amount of risk. The risk of exposing yourself to others, which can hold you back. The chance is well worth it, provided you can avoid stereotyping individuals or groups, like the young.
Okay, that was odd.
That's it? Okay.
Apparently that's it. Okay. We agreed this one was what, family?
Yep.
Okay.
We haven't seen this in a while. Your father's eyesight is beginning to fail him, and his reflexes are not as quick as they used to be. In spite of this, he refuses to turn in his license. Now this is a major fucking peeve of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Although he rarely drives, when he does, he's an absolute menace. You're sure that he'll end up killing either himself or some innocent person.
Sympathetic, try to reason with him.
You try to explain that he might hurt himself. Nonsense! What's the matter with you? Do you think I'm a child? I can take care of myself. Sympathy does not always soothe the savage bear. Huh?
No.
Are my eyes failing me here?
No, that's the word you want to say.
Sympathy does not always soothe the savage breast. Your father feels as if an important decision were being made for him. This is very upsetting to older people. After spending a lifetime being responsible for your children, it's hard to accept their attempts to be responsible for you. And being an apparent old fool, he doesn't give up his license.
Oh boy. Mental. Here we go.
Your accountant suggests some creative accounting techniques creative accounting techniques that are guaranteed to reduce the amount of money you'll be giving Uncle Sam this year. The techniques have one minor disadvantage. They're in that gray area of accounting practices that fall dangerously close to being, God forbid, illegal. How gray the area is depends on the skill of your accountant, your willingness to see things his way, and the probability that your tax return will be flagged for an audit. It's April Fool's Day, a mere fortnight from the day of reckoning. Oh, this is tough.
Paranoid.
This is tough.
Be prudent. Fuck y'all.
The accountant scoffs at your cowardice, and he wants no part of you in his practice. You're not progressive enough for him. Eventually, the two of you go your separate ways. You travel down the straight and narrow, and he winds up in the slammer.
Yeah. Vocational.
How'd that work out for you, asshole? Things are becoming extremely stressful at work lately. You cannot find a single person capable of doing his or her job well, and there are time pressures and deadlines. Jesus Christ, welcome to my life. You find yourself working overtime. At the end of the day, you would like nothing more than to just relax but it's no use. The more you try to wind down after work, the more the pressure gets to you. You're beginning to feel afraid that work has become such an overbearing responsibility that you will no longer be able to enjoy life.
Okay, so if we do something about it, I'm just gonna say it's probably gonna go one of two ways. Either quit or actually I don't know what the other way would be.
I mean, that's a reasonable belief.
Oh no, or hire an assistant, I guess, or something. Angry, do something about it. Let's take the risk.
So you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore?
Well, it's better than face the fact that life probably won't change much.
That's fair. That's the spirit. So what you going to do?
Take a nice long vacation.
All right.
Fuck it.
Splendid idea. Now, do you want to do some sightseeing and other enjoyable activities during your vacation, or...
No.
Good. Just relax and take it easy. You don't want your vacation time to be too much like work.
Wow, I actually... What happened there with the spheres?
Say what?
What happened there with the spheres? I wanna... Whoa! Okay. Okay.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. Social.
At the last minute, you have become the only person available to drive a group of 5 howling, screeching, rambunctious, overactive first graders to their high school play.
First graders to their school play, not high school play.
Did I say high school?
Yeah, you said high school.
Oops.
Slightly put off, but drive the children.
On the way to the play, there is the usual cacophony of 7-year-olds' high-pitched squeals with an occasional, "Stop that!" One child is nervous about the play and requests that you pull over for a moment to release some of his butterflies, along with today's lunch.
Ugh.
After this event, the other children banish him to a corner of the car with chants of, "Gross, gross, gross." When you arrive at the auditorium, you are informed of a catastrophe. The giant mushroom has fallen ill with chicken pox. Would you be willing to fill in for him, please?
Selected action. Yes. No. Yes, why not?
You're going to do it?
I'm here anyway.
Brava! Your giant mushroom performance is riveting. You could easily win the Tony for Best Supporting Role as a fungus.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, which way around the horn do you want to go?
You know what? Let's start with the bottom vocational, then we'll go back to emotional, vocational, family, and then end with the body one because you know how that's going to end.
Okay, so from here, go clockwise.
Counterclockwise. No, clockwise. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
From there, clockwise.
From here, we'll go cockwise.
Yeah.
Cockwise.
I know what you did there.
Because of your fine vocational performance, you are singled out for your tremendous achievements and honored at an awards dinner hosted by important members of your work environment. During your introduction, the host notes that you are outstanding because of your ability to work with others, enriching the field, and exemplifying the most outstanding qualities of hard work, patience, and pride. That's a turnaround.
Humble, modest, make a short speech.
Nobody likes a long speech, right? You are truly humble and modest, not to mention extremely considerate. Now, who would you like to thank most during your speech?
Those with whom you work.
Very sincere. Your coworkers appreciate you for this, and the social sphere increases markedly.
Am I good or what?
Well, it's an increase, all right.
Yep. Ooh.
Look at this. This is attractive.
Ooh, yes.
Wowee.
And I'm still doing good on money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. You have a small appliance that is broken, but can definitely be fixed with a little tinkering.
Um, oh, whatever. Motivated to repair it, tinker with it.
Yeah, I was going
What
to
can
say,
go
this
wrong?
basically comes down to how bored are you. There's a loose screw that is hanging precariously by its lip in a very hard-to-reach place. As you bring the screwdriver near the screw, it slips just out of reach.
Stop tinkering.
Good for you. You can see that this appliance is programmed for providing aggravation. Any other aspect of it is just a feature intended to disguise its main use. Calmness rises.
Nice.
Wow.
Vocational again.
It is the morning before an important day at work. As you're getting ready, your cheek begins to twitch rather noticeably. At first, the twitch feels like a mild tickle. You don't give it much thought, but as time passes, it gets much worse. Soon your eye begins to blink uncontrollably at random intervals. Oh boy.
Anxious. Try to do something about it. Oh,
Like what?
better be a doctor. See a doctor, yeah.
The doctor tells you that your tic is probably a nervous habit brought on by stress. There's no telling how long it may last. Sometimes they become permanent. Just slow down and relax. I thought it was something worse.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Take a Vacadion from work or continue as is. Or Vacateon, however that's pronounced.
I was gonna say, wait, I know what that word's supposed to be. I just can't figure it out in my head.
I just can't.
um, you know what? Fuck it. Continue. It's a nervous tick. Unfortunately, that's gonna happen.
The habit becomes worse before it gets better. It's not long before your nervous tic becomes an involuntary shoulder shrug, always occurring at the most inconvenient times. One day, while standing in a crowded elevator, you nearly injure 3 people with uncontrollable tics and body jerks. People begin to treat you as if there's something seriously wrong with you. Your stubborn refusal to take it easy has caused your problem to get worse. Not only do you have tics related to stress, you now have tics related to your self-consciousness about having tics. Eventually they subside, but not before extreme anxiety and embarrassment.
Okay, but let's look at the spheres because I bet you didn't do too much. Oh.
Oh, social took a
Ow.
deep hit.
Next.
So did calmness.
Yeah, but it's been worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Family.
You're still doing good.
Uh-huh.
A relative whom you haven't seen in many years calls you up on the phone with a hard luck story. He needs approximately $5,000 in order to keep his house. You've heard that he's got certain bad habits, though when he speaks with you, he sounds decent enough. Maybe he really has fallen on you for hard times. He appeals to you for the loan, which he assures you he'll repay within the year.
Unsympathetic, don't not lend him the money.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in years. It's bad idea. Bad
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. And I suspect gambling addiction.
Uh-huh.
I guess you think it's wisest to play it safe. Good move. This episode could have only spelled trouble.
Oh, good. Dun, 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 dun.
Since you're putting on a few extra pounds around the waist, you consider a physical exercise program which might benefit you. A health club might not be a bad idea.
Interested, join a health club.
Oops. There we go.
Interested, don't join it.
We all know how that's going to end. That would have been a big, resounding yeah.
Yeah.
500 to join.
Yes.
After a week of sweating and toiling, you feel worse than when you began. You really think you can keep up with this?
Yep.
You certainly have the self-discipline needed to stick to this. How about joining a nice aerobics class to get your heart in shape?
Sure.
The class is full of women at least 15 years your junior. They make you a bit self-conscious. However, Steve is a hunk. Getting in shape might be more fun than you think. And at the end of your 6 weeks, your body looks terrific.
Uh-huh.
So, after middle adulthood, good family life. During this phase of life, your body doesn't always respond the way your mind would like it to. A sore back after a hard day's work or sore feet and legs after a long walk are not uncommon. In general, you're not very healthy, though. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about drugs or alcohol ruining your health. And nobody even mentions about the diabetes, which is interesting to me. Socially, you're doing fine. Although you don't have a steady partner at the present time, there's always the next life phase. Being a confirmed bachelorette does have its share of rewards, but game, don't you think we're running a little bit late into the fourth here?
Hit the wall.
You're trustworthy. Wilder side under control. Negotiated your midlife crisis without depression. Sensible and understanding. Calm, cool, and collected. Wise person. Rely on you often for advice and are pleased with the results they get from interacting with you. Okay.
On occasion.
The next phase of life is full of mixed blessings. You may feel old and lonely on some days, cheerful and strong on others. Our society certainly has its share of prejudices against older folks, but you can have rich and rewarding experiences anyway. You'll have your chance to thumb your nose at people you think are too old to live it up a little. After all, you were doing most of these things long before these people were toilet trained. The woman I shall become will be quite different from the woman I am now. Another I is beginning, and so far I have not had to complain of her. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
Wow, that was fast.
65 years of age.
It was 60 before.
Yep.
That's...
Well, physical has improved thanks to that episode at the health club. Social is still dipping further.
No, it was 61 before, too.
Everything else sits about the same. And as you might have been able to guess, this phase of life is riddled with health stories.
Well, let's start in the middle with the health on the bottom.
Here we go.
Yep.
A young man walks up to you in the park and looks you square in the eye. Have you got a dime? He says.
Generous, give him the dime.
You reach down into your purse and slowly sort through the loose change. It's getting hard to discriminate the sizes and shapes of coins these days. You finally find one that feels like a dime. You reach out and hand it to the young man who looks at you quizzically. The time! The time! He keeps saying. Your hearing's going.
Oops. Social.
At a family gathering, you notice a table with some sweet cordials. You think it might be a good idea to go over and sample some of them. Loosen up, enjoy the party.
Not interested. Do not sample.
Are you not interested because you're afraid of how it might affect your behavior?
No.
Well, you must have your reasons then.
Yeah, it's called the diabetes from the mid-age where it said I can't have sweets. That's what cordials are.
Diabetes.
Unless I'm wrong. Am I incorrect?
I may be incorrect in this, but I thought cordials were beverages. I may be entirely wrong about that. If anybody wants to look that up and confirm one way or the other. In the meantime.
No, you're right. Liquors. What I see, my problem is that I understand cherry CHERRY, which is a chocolate-covered cherry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, so no, it could be either. It could be alcohol or it could be candy.
Oh, okay.
A cordial is a type of confection which a fruit filling is placed within a chocolate shell. A well-known confectionery of this type is a cherry cordial. That's what I know it as.
Okay, there you go.
But it could also be liquor. So, whatever. Wyatt, I think it might have been alcohol, though, since it said, are you worried if it affecting your behavior?
Yeah.
Which is kind of awful considering that, again, there's multiple... Whatever.
I don't know.
This doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Body. We're going around clockwise and then going up.
Go roundabout?
Yeah, roundabout.
You're very bored, and the weather outside is just a bit nippy. You think that you'd like to treat yourself to a small but refreshing shopping spree. The idea seems like a worthwhile way of getting exercise. Although you live quite a distance from the store, the walk should get your blood moving.
Excited. Go shopping.
Okay, what for?
How about new clothes?
That's the spirit. I'm sure you'll be quite pleased with whatever you purchase. You feel limber and refreshed, and your shopping trip is great fun. One of the salespeople comments on how wonderful you look.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a change.
Yeah.
Time is going pretty quick this time.
That's okay. Oh, that was looking good. And somehow I gained $10,000. See?
Yes, yeah, social's
Social
looking
went up.
good. By the way, there is an upper age limit.
Okay.
You've been thinking about calling up an old friend for an afternoon cup of joe. Perhaps you can catch up with one another since you've been so out of touch.
Interested to give her a call.
You hunt for her number and dial it carefully.
Oh, yeah.
So hard to see those small numbers. The voice on the other end sounds foreign. For a moment you wonder who it could be. Probably a relative. When you ask for your friend, there's a long pause, and I think we can all kind of surmise what's up next here.
Wrong number.
No.
Oh.
That woman passed on about 4 years ago. I'm sorry. By now, news like this is becoming routine, and you spend the morning contemplating your own life and fragility. What do you do?
Pick yourself up.
That's difficult, but in this phase, very necessary. You're a survival-oriented individual. It's easy to give in to depression and despair in this phase, but your positive attitude will keep you healthy and vital.
Alright, there we go.
On occasion, you must rely on a public bus to get you to and from where you want to go. Today, the bus is particularly crowded and you'll have to stand. You find an open area toward the back of the bus where there's room to grasp a strong steel pole that extends from the floor to the ceiling.
Okay.
Your fingers wrap around the pole tightly. A fall could mean a broken hip or worse. As the bus moves, the shock of the gentle bumps is absorbed by your feet, knees, and legs, resulting in some discomfort. As a result, you lean forward slightly so that you can take some of the pressure off your lower body. Now your back begins to ache. A little girl with chestnut-colored hair and freckles, about 8 years old, has been watching you, wide-eyed, for the past 5 minutes. Not long ago, her mother whispered something in her ear, to which she looked at you, frightened, and shook her head. No! Mayo, what's up? After watching you a bit longer, she gets up from her seat, brushes it off with her tiny hand, and steps aside, motioning for you to sit.
I'm gonna go with grateful and refuse. Does it allow that?
Chibi, I think you know the answer to this.
Nah.
Mayo, I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, no.
Grateful, accept the seat.
You
I
just
don't want to
wanted
do proud.
you just wanted that, didn't you?
Oh.
Uh-huh. You realize that accepting the seat is neither a sign of personal nor emotional weakness. It's a simple fact of life. This child is young and in many ways stronger than you. She does not need the seat. Nice. As you sit, relief spreads rapidly through your body, though soon your joints will begin to stiffen in the seated position. The child is looking at you with great relief on her face, too.
Okay.
Here goes.
Here we go again.
It is a beautiful sunny day. There's a lot of outside work that needs to be done.
Alert. Do it yourself.
You try to do the work too quickly. It's hard to do the type of work you used to do, and as a result, you get tired long before the job is done.
Save some for tomorrow.
A wise choice. What's the hurry, right? Intellectual and physical spheres rise.
Oh, I want to see. Woohoo!
You know, in some ways, you're more vital than you ever were as a child.
Well, as a child, I got burned.
True.
Literally.
And
And
your
apparently I got another $10,000.
Yeah, your cash flow's still coming up.
Might as well go for the dead end body one. Yeah, here we go.
Medical checkup.
Calm. Go to the doctor.
Perhaps you have the philosophy that staying alive long enough to live for another checkup is proof of another battle won. The doctor's young and intelligent looking. He checks your eyes, your tongue, your heart, and your limbs. You seem to be in fine shape. The doctor asks you some cursory questions about your lifestyle and eating habits, sends you on your way.
Okay.
Wow. And the diabetes was never mentioned again.
Yeah, no kidding.
I wonder if you worked your way up past that.
Possibly because of the health rising?
True enough.
Because it was under 40, and now it's 70. Yeah, social.
While you're sitting at home preparing a list of what needs to be done this week, your doorbell rings. It is your young neighbor, Julie Wharton. She comes over to ask you some cooking advice, but you can see that there's something more troubling her.
I wonder if this is the same neighbor that had everybody else in the neighborhood cook her food for her.
Or a descendant thereof.
Yeah. Sympathetic, ask her if she wants a cup of coffee or tea.
She accepts and sits at the table. Suddenly her bottom lip begins to quiver. Julie looks up at you and her eyes fill up with tears. Her husband Bob just confessed that he once had an affair. He felt terribly guilty about it and didn't want to tell her, so that she wouldn't find out in a way that would hurt her more. Now she asks your advice about what to do. So what has all of that aged wisdom gotten you?
Tell her to give him another chance.
You offer this piece of advice, knowing through experience that you can live through almost anything, even this. Julie doesn't understand why she should forgive her husband because she still feels hurt and betrayed. Once you suggest that she should forgive him, she begins to realize that he didn't want her to be hurt and that he was honest. She begins to feel better.
Yahoo?
Okay.
Emotional.
While driving the car one day, you notice that the turns seem particularly sharp and treacherous.
Careful. Slow down.
Your reflexes are not as sharp as they used to be. Driving used to be natural, but now it requires every bit of concentration you can muster. You finally get the car under control at what you feel is a safe speed when... a young man is tailgating and screaming in a loud voice. What you gonna do?
Move over and let him pass.
He zooms by at what must be an incredible speed. You wonder...
Why do these young people do such dangerous things? Okay. Social.
The community council is searching for a senior member of the community to help fund, sponsor, and direct a community art auction for the benefit of some local charities. The project leader would have to donate about $5,000.
Interested, help with the auction, but do not become a project leader.
You might not be able to put up $5,000 for something like this. Oh yeah, you fucking can. But your help is appreciated anyway. There will be an ancient jewelry exhibit at the art auction, and you would have been chosen to model a 200-carat diamond necklace.
Whatever.
We are in Chapter 7, the Senior Citizen stage, the last of the game. All right.
Sorry, give me a second. I just got pinged on something for Discord, and I have to log into something to see this. And I have to wait for my. There we go. Okay. Let's start on the right.
Okay. You wake up, as you've gotten used to waking up, slowly and carefully, and prepare to face the day.
Cheerful, try to do something constructive. Why not?
Terrific idea. What are you going to try?
Gardening!
Gardening gives you satisfaction and helps you to relax. Your cheerfulness and good attitude radiates to everybody who passes by. You are an inspiration to others. Is it safe to assume you pretty much had it with the side expeditions?
Hold on a second.
Money's back in the 6 digits. Yeah, they are. And to think they were never that good in earlier stages.
Yeah, my stats were horrible. Sorry, I was answering a question.
And the diabetes that was mentioned at the end of Chapter 4 has never come up again.
Yeah, haven't heard it. Okay, so family.
Here we go. You've just read an article in the paper about the importance of making out a last will and testicle. In pondering the article, you wonder if you should do yours.
Concerned, make out a will.
What about the testament?
Wow!
Now's your chance to... Wow, indeed. Now's your chance to get even, right? Just kidding. Who's going to get your major possessions?
Some obscure charity, because I don't have a husband, don't have children, and I don't have a gentleman friend.
So, you've decided to fuck everyone else.
No?
When your will is read, how do you want it done?
Have the lawyer read it.
Traditional. Classy. Bitch.
Okay, but considering the family life, it would have said you don't have children, you don't have a husband. So it would have, I either had a charity or a gentleman friend, and I haven't heard of anybody having a gentleman friend in this, so I had no choice.
I mean, you could have, well, okay. You still decided...
In logic of game.
You still decided to fuck everybody else.
Whatever. This is probably going to be my death sentence anyways, and this is another weird one, like the checkup.
Only one way to find out.
Click.
While you're turning the pages of a newspaper one morning, you notice that your fingers feel stiff, and there are sharp pains shooting up the backs of your fingers and hands.
Not concerned, take some aspirin.
What do you think it is?
Arthritis.
Yeah, I guess you're resigned to the fact that with advancing age comes a wide variety of aches and pains. If you guessed what you're experiencing is a touch of arthritis, yeah, we kind of figured that much, right?
Yep.
Aspirin works about as well as anything else does. What the hell?
See? Oh, Jesus! Oh, jeez! Oh, my God!
Are you ready to run the final gauntlet?
Yes, let's do it!
Here we go.
I just have to survive.
You were walking up the front walk when suddenly the phone rings. You've been expecting an important call, and this might be it.
Uh-oh. You know what? Nonchalant, take your time, nothing can be that important.
You take your steps one at a time, with a short rest after every third step. You've learned to do things in this fashion by now. Individuals who've survived this long have developed an adaptive style of living, emphasizing safety and control. You get to the top, phone is still ringing. You must search for your keys. Unfortunately, by the time you get through the door, the phone stops ringing. If it really is that important, they'll call you back.
Wow, okay. That could have ended very horribly.
We're getting near it.
Yep.
Medical checkup.
Calm, neutral, go to the doctor.
The doctor's happy to see you, and he likes you because you're such a good patient. And the two of you make small talk for a little while. He gives you the usual checkup, and the results suggest the following. There you go. It's true, though. That's probably the last chance we would have had in this.
Okay.
Dental checkup.
What? Go to the dentist.
Excellent checkup. Your teeth are often a reflection of your general health, which in your case is very good. Okay. Now.
Yes.
76 and 1. Everything is 90 plus aside from physical.
Which, considering...
Yeah, all things considered.
That's pretty good. This is looking awesome. And I have over 100K.
And you have a microwave.
And a microwave. And I have no debt. I also have no husband, no kids.
Okay. Do you want to do anything on the side, or are you done?
Done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations on making the endgame sequence, and by the way, the age cap is 80.
Oh, I was close.
Yep. If you continue playing past that point, the age will just stick at 80 and 0.
Okay.
Here we go. After a long but very relaxing day, with a deep sigh, you climb into bed and sink into the warm, cushiony fabric. As you drift off, feelings of intense serenity and well-being overwhelm you. Pleasant images of childhood visit with sweet memories of mom and dad, school, and growing up. The memories flash by your mind's eye with startling reality. The first smell of school on your first day, the flowers your boyfriend bought you on your first date. You recall places you haven't visited for years in picture-perfect detail, and friends and neighbors who have gone on greet you. They're filled with excitement to see you, though you soon realize they're not communicating their joy in words. It's almost as if this will go on forever.
Deceased.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the natural ending to the game.
And I did it.
Yes, congratulations. So at the end, vocational 98%, you are a career woman through and through, with mighty social, familial, and intellectual stats, and a pretty okay body, all things considered. Your thoughtfulness...
This is amazing. I just want to say, this is freaking amazing.
Your thoughtfulness only went up from the 96% that it was when you found out you were diabetic. Confidence, 97. Happiness and gentleness, both in the 90s as well. And look at everything else. Calmness, expressiveness, trustworthiness. Firmly mid-70s.
Above 75.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful ending stats for this game. Congratulations. And look at all that money.
And the microwave.
And the microwave. Yeah.
Best purchase ever. Although, did I buy a microwave or I thought I bought a food processor?
No, you got the microwave.
Okay.
Well, how do you feel about your life?
No, you can't forget the microwave. That was a very important purchase. I didn't have to make it.
It's true.
I was just like, okay, what the hell? Let's go make an important purchase.
That's
microwave.
Yeah, important purchase, and it didn't set you back in the least.
Nope.
Well, congratulations on being the first to make it to the natural ending.
And not die. Well, not die.
Well,
by
you died.
means other than natural causes.
Yeah, you died. You died at the prescribed point. The one where you didn't fuck up so badly that it happened sooner. How do you feel?
Okay.
Well, hey, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll be doing more of this on Thursday when Whit comes back to continue where she left off, which was somewhere in the middle of Chapter 3 for adolescence. Yeah, so Wednesday I'm going to be doing Mega Man X. Friday, Shadow and Coma will be back to continue DK64. And on Saturday, if I get through Mega Man X, I'm moving on to X2, or if not, I will continue X wherever I leave off. I'd like to get to at least X5 so that I can say I got through the truly canonical X series. Because X6, if you look up and read, was never supposed to happen. X5 was literally supposed to be it. Zero was supposed to stay dead, and X was supposed to stay the sole leader of the Maverick Hunters. Yeah, if I can get that far in it without getting as frustrated as I did in Mega Man 7, then I'll be happy with it. But yeah, that's the rest of the week. And we got to figure out something else we need to do.
Uh-huh.
We'll work that out. I have enough N64 titles to discuss over, and a few other things too.
Oh, you do?
I do. And I'll give you those over like when we get off of this.
Okay.
Which is going to be right about now. I'm Alpha.
I'm Chibi.
And have an Alpha night. See you next time.
Bye.